All right. Thank you, Father, for Hados. Hados, the narrowing. Narrow is the way. That happened right at your time, the narrowing of these gas giants, and here we are again. So thank you for making me not so caught up in the world that I didn't have a chance to be a witness to this celestial marker that you're leaving again. So it's important. It just makes sense to me. So well, it makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense that there isn't any very well, only Adapt 2030 is the only other content creator seen covering it. So, and I want to like shut up about it, and then that would just be it. But then why would I do that? That wouldn't, I would. So, thanks for coming in again. I'm talking about this 1024 alignment. Here we are. See a massive increasing in intensity of a lot of the stuff that's going on around us. Has a lot to do with the energy that's coming from the sun, from the weakening of the magnetosphere. There will be two deciding factors. It'll be the magnetics, how long our field strength can hold up, and how long we can take that before the deciding factor hits us with that energy. So it's going to happen sooner or later. It's, I'm not guessing at any of this anymore, so let's see. All right, cool. But it only makes sense since we must go through the narrow path. Narrow is the way. He said narrow is the way. Narrow is the way. Narrow. And I'm talking about this pinch, pinch. Theolobo, push down. To be pushed down. That's the noun. Theolobos is that's the verb, to be pinched, pushed down. To how you gonna fit through a straight gate unless you've been pushed down. Broad is the way, remember? That's not the hados, that's not the narrow way. He said narrow. So I guess if the world misses it, it's not my fault. Most of the world missed 2015 Star of Bethlehem. That had been in over 2,600 years. That's a miraculous sign. The same thing with the morning and the king star, that birthed the king in an age. Remember, a whole brand new age. Whoa, no. That was back then. What would I said back then? What if Tracy said back then? I don't know. Probably something similar, I imagine, right? I am who I am. I'm not, it just is what I do. So it'll come to pass. It's not the end of the world, remember? Thanks for coming in, guys. So it is a miraculous time to be a witness to these passing of an age, and then again the same sign at the birth of Christ, and again in our day and our age. And I don't care if I just rattle on about it, guys. It's my testimony. I have to do it while I'm here. I'm only here for so many days on this earth, and what a blessing, what an honor to have this busos understanding he's given me to take the time and be able to get you guys, hopefully, just even if one of you guys, and I know you guys are hearing it, but I just feel like just if one person hears it, this is not in vain. It's his work, not mine. So it's not I'm already honored to do it. So just alignment. I don't even care anymore if anything happens. I don't care if anything happens. Things are already happening, guys. So you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I don't care what happens. Whatever. Like, not like that. I mean, like the weather. This event's going to happen. That's not going to not happen. Meaning, like if there's any effects, from that weather effects, and I know there already is. We're already seeing the magnetic effects. The sun's already being. Do you see the sunspots coming around the sun, guys? Right now, that one sunspot had it was mixed right in the middle of that umbra. It was having the umbra. It's some some of the stuff that's going on is incredible. North and south within inside of its own umbra. Guys, man, this is pretty miraculous to be a witness to what's going on. Just with the single that one sunspot is pretty neat. Anyways, I don't know. You guys probably don't watch the sun like I do. I'm kind of a freak about watching the sun. So, anyways, I'm weird. Yeah, go watch Canadian. I don't know what he dropped, but man, I hope you guys. Did you guys go watch? Would anybody please make a comment on the video I told you about him doing the nuclear war? That we're all wrong. We were taught on television, oh my God, nuclear war, and we were all going to die, and they were just going to nuke everything, right? And it was just going to be in the world. Who wouldn't actually watch the video that I asked you guys to watch? Didn't we go watch it? What was it, like 14-minute video? That's pretty short video for Nate. He puts a lot of work into his videos, and he has a lot of information on recover, but who went and watched Nate's video on the, what'd you think? I mean, did you see why I hit that so hard? I mean, I hit that video pretty hard. That's awesome work he did there. He really probably put a lot of people's mind at ease and made them feel like, man, I can survive this. I could survive this. You know what I mean? Most people see it and they think they can't make it. Anybody I ever know, they'd see nuclear war, they think extinction. Oh, we're all going to die. Yeah, we're all going to die, but not because of that. So, if you haven't seen Nate's work on his video that he did, it's a shorter one because he does longer, excellent videos on Ukraine and Israel and preparedness. He's obviously a preparedness video. So, yeah, there we go. See, thank you, Ross. I've been doing this for a while, guys. Maybe we'll break off at the end of the night or something here and do some music. I recorded a couple songs. I think we're going to maybe have a bobathon or something. We'll break off and come right back in, and so that we don't. Yeah, because whenever I like conscious music, guys. That's what Bob said. We'll listen to that song "Science" by B.O.B. Bob, the conscious lyrics artist. He's an artist, guys. To me, he's an artist. He truly is an artist. He's whatever. But he says that in one of his songs, he's like, how do you film a nuclear blast and it doesn't destroy the camera? So we'll like I said, we won't, I think I will break that stream up so we don't unmonetize the video. This one here, I want to stay on this celestial pinch, and like I said, we'll bring whoever's eyes takes the time, or ears, has a hearing ear, will do whatever they do with the information. It's not, I'm just a messenger. Like I said, a second would be DAP 2030, and David has put out, I mean, his work, he left the country, guys, to go find this information. That's a pretty big study right there, and I've studied for like I've told you, if you've seen my work on this, I put a life's work in. It seems like always watching all this land over here on this side of the United States being taken over, wondering why, how the hell are they so just they're like freaking swarming all this land everywhere, and now it all makes sense on why, it's just the overlay. It's not really rocket science what I put out here, it's not something anybody could have done. It's not even a complex overlay. It's not a complex thing, but it does match. There's things where it's like, I'm always talking about putting a square peg in a round hole, but it's like putting a round peg in a round hole. It fits, and when it fits, like putting a hand in a glove. And when something matches, that's what I always pay attention to, guys, cycles. So you should see why I hit so hard on it, and it does this, if you all go to horizontal streams and not vertical, you can click on the links. Oh, interesting. Thank you. So, but David did put out a video, and he's talked about this before, and he's continued to do David does so much work. What an amazing content creator. I do want to make a break off to and make a mention too, because David put out a video the other day, and like the guy, I never really normally don't like the people that David has on, but I really don't like that guy that David had on the other day. I don't know why. He just rubbed me the wrong way, and I normally don't like to be super throw my energy at to somebody, kind of like that in a sense. But man, I don't know. Maybe it was just the NASA shirt he was wearing. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he just didn't seem to be on his, I don't know. Anyways, Dave was talking about putting up a preparedness bucket, guys, which is very smart. If you don't have a preparedness bucket put up, that's something you should have already done. You need to have a bucket that's got rice and beans in it. Obviously learn from what you see with his preps was to have, don't put your chemicals in with your food. Obviously that would have been, I read through the comments and people were really hard on David, and whatever, man. That was something he did in 2019. He did it on the fly, and David's not a preparedness channel. David is a channel that's a cycle, and he brings information to all the destruction of the food and, all the changing of our cycles too, as well. He's a cycle guy like me. He pays attention to the minima, the grand solar minimum, many ice age conversations. He pays attention to this, again, the Dalton, the Maunder. These were in not that long ago. These were in the 18 and the 1700s. People think ice age, they get all that Disney cartoon crap where they're thinking about woolly mammoths and, little chipmunks, chasing around little acorns and stuff. That was in the 1800s. We were in a mini ice age on this earth. People think ice age, they think thousands of years ago, so that's why I ripped that person's, the other day, or whoever that was person came in, Magpie, or whatever, Maggie, I remember I laid into them with their hockey stick, Michael Mann, global warming bull crap. Don't do that. Don't push that nonsense. So, sometimes put your foot down, brothers, sisters. You can't let people just spew, lies. CO2 is plant food. Higher level of CO2, the more greener this plant gets, the more actually the better life. You know why they want to get all the CO2? Because you breathe CO2. You get rid of CO2, they get rid of you. They're just telling you that, but you don't understand it, because you just don't. I understand most people don't have the time. So anyways, there are things that are far beyond our control. You're not going to run from the stars. You're not going to run from the star. You can run all over this earth, but you ain't going to run from them. They're still going to do what they, not Chicken Little, the sky's falling. They're going to do what they're going to do up there, and it's going to affect the way you remember Reaganomics, and that's the wrong theory to hear it, but that's supposed to like the trickle down effect with economics, Reaganomics, So anyways, like you're supposed to run downhill, like, maybe like diarrhea runs in your genes, get it, Never mind. Speaking of good genes. You guys seen that, Mr. Good Genes? Yeah, Mr. Thump, with his good genes. Anyways, let's get back to the message here. David has put in a lot of work, guys, on this celestial geometry here, this celestial alignment. He left the country. He left his farm. I think he's married. I'm pretty sure he's married. He left his wife, his whole deal, and he left for months. I don't know who the hell took care of his farm for him, but man, that's pretty awesome. I didn't have nobody, and this dude's got somebody to take care of all his animals and everything, but whatever, it was worth it. And he left, and he found all the information that he was looking for and more. It was just incredible, astonishing amount of information that he found on the cycle, that it's been something that's been illustrated before, through older paintings and through paint, different artists depicting this celestial event, that has happened before. It's a historical record, and it's been, again, illustrated in times. There's, you go back in history, the artists would rendition, some were realistic. I've studied, that's part of my, what I like to study a little bit, like it was in media and art. That's part of my, so you take a lot of graphic and design, and you have to go back through, art and study the history of art and things like that. So, it's kind of crazy how we paint what we paint during the times when these, when countries go through certain things, good and bad, how that changes the influence of the painters at the time on normally what they paint, and so anyways, there you go. So you guys understand what I'm saying. There's the art changes with how even remember I told you solar minimums and solar good and bad. You'll see the way that art, that the renditions of what is being painted at the time it has a lot to do with socially what's being accepted, and it's pretty amazing, because again they didn't have that photography, so this was all done, by hand, and I'm a do it by hand kind of guy. So something like that to me is extremely fascinating. I like history. So when David found it in the illustration of these paintings, for me, it was a knock it out of the park. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what happens to me anymore, guys. I don't. I really don't. I don't care. I was so lucky to understand, that this was the passing of an age and declare all these things. And here we are again with these same celestial, geometry. We're in the same time. All these same things are happening again, and it's incredible. It's just overwhelming. It's out of control. Yeah, if you really want to see somebody who's, I'm not go. Hey, what are you going to discern all things? You want to see somebody got really good imagery and work on the Vatican? That would be Jonathan Kleck. And just discern Jonathan or whatever. I'm still subscribed to him. I don't watch his work too much anymore. I try to pick up a little bit, but go look at all his imagery, and he'll uncover what's up there at the basilica, the largest basilica at the Vatican, and all that imagery that they put up there. Anybody watch Jonathan Kleck? Yeah, the first guy to discover, the money, all the fold up the money. Yeah, that's your guy right there, man. Dude's putting in a lot of work, and they've called him a kook, whatever, man. They call me a kook. I don't care what people think about me. I don't think Jonathan does either. So some of us in doing this long enough, brothers and sisters, it don't matter what people, we stopped doing this because what people said about us. Yeah, we'd have done stopped a decade or two ago, but Jonathan's been in the game, and like I said, his work is, man, he's done some incredible work, with all this imagery at what they pull on your face in the Vatican with, all the, all the angels falling into the Vesica Pisces, all the worship of the, that, anyways, all their, go check out his work, man. It's just, I'm sure he's got some short down videos from his older stuff, and he is the one to discover that all the money folds and makes all this imagery, like all the water now is coming over the building. It's going to happen. 10/24/24 potentially, and it doesn't. Great. You know what? I was going to move on after that. After I get out of 525, man, told you I'm probably just going to leave the country. Whatever. I figure I think get all this stuff straightened out with me. I ain't tripping. If not, if I'd stay wherever I got to stay, I would do whatever legally I got to do. But I think everything will be, all my logistics will be taken care of at that point in time. And so, yeah, it's good because I know that's what I'm seeing, and so that's cool. Just, that Jonathan was one of those people that he's got an eye to see, man. God gave him a seeing eye. He got some weird ass. I'm sorry. I don't mean, darn it. I already did it. I was going to do man, I'm slipping. Okay. But anyways, Jonathan, Jumping out of airplanes, Jonathan. Okay, collect. He's done a lot of work at the Basilica at the Vatican and uncovered all the imagery that they hide within this, this altar, brothers and sisters. This um, Catholicism is the sickest, disgusting thing I think I've ever been a witness to, other than Trump supporters and well, because they still go after that transgender God. It's all over the, but they do it in like I said, they're very, very sneaky, and where Jonathan uncovers a lot of things that you guys don't understand about Catholicism. I don't even talk about them in here because I don't want to go there. I don't want to get people to get the wrong idea, like aliens and all that other, but they do that, the mandibles and, oh gosh, yeah, his work has gone on for, I told you, Jonathan, been, 10 years or whatever, 10, 12, 15, I don't know, he's been on. So, but he's still putting out work. Go try to find his work on the Basilica, search his, like his imagery, go find his video about the paper money. That's going to be way back when, about the folding of the money. He was the first one to truly discover when you fold up the money, it makes it the 9/11, the whole, oops, that was a trigger word for the algorithm. Oh, well, I don't care anymore. I do. I got to cover the channel. Don't do that, Tracy. You got to care. Okay. So anyways, go see Jonathan's work because, again, I feel very vindicated. Not, vindication. No, I ain't going after nobody. It's edifying, brothers and sisters. It's super edifying to know that when I see that bill, with that water splashing over New York, I know what that is. I'm not, that's April 8th, 2024 this year. They got you all ready for that, get you all standing on the line on the X again. All this, like I said, I'm not going to concern about what anybody says about my work. Between the work that I presented on this channel on the TikTok platform and David's video on the singled out video, and he's put multiple videos about 1024 equals 79 AD. It's a cycle. We're going back to an alignment we're in over 26. Somebody was way going around out there. Mom was probably cleaning them. Over 2,600 years ago, like the Star of Bethlehem that happened and hadn't happened 2,600 years ago. So things are happening, the same things that happened at the time of Christ, and now they're all happening now. They got everybody distracted, that Donald Trump supposedly got shot in the ear and, and all this hocus pocus. It's just a big clown show, guys. It's just, dog and pony, and it's a circus to me. It's just a big act, Got the orange face clown or whatever, Agent Orange or whatever you want to call him, and his sideshow. And, he's a puppet still, no matter what, on a string. He's just playing his part, doing his job as we're all supposed to. We all have a part to do here. I don't know what your part is, but he doesn't give us all the same measure, and he's not going to pour the same measure out on each one of us anyway. So, because we don't all get the same measure, some people get 20, 30 years, 40, 50 years with a wife. I won't see that in my life. Doesn't matter. No, I got what I got. You don't use what you got. Remember the parable. Take what you got. Even the poorest had to give it to the rich man because he didn't use it. He buried it. So don't bury what he gave you. Don't hide your light. Don't hide it behind a bushel. Use what you got. That's what you do. I'm a use what you got kind of guy. Everything I do is repurpose, renew, reuse, and I'm always getting up every day because I feel dead. I do. The only thing that's keeping me going is him. I told you, I'm not sit there and blowing smoke up your rear end. I said he is the wind in my sail. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like this place. It used to be cool when I used to think that a generation like my dad wanted better for me and his dad wanted it, but that's gone. We don't care. He sold out all the future generations. $8.8 trillion in 4 years, brothers and sisters. That is all. How many future how much money? Who did a video on that earlier? On how much each U.S. citizen owns according to the debt. And that's not even counting the unfunded liabilities. You guys, it's the phenomenal amount of money that was taken from the future. It just in the last two presidencies is It makes me want to throw up. They when you hit $33.3 trillion, it will never ever be paid back. You should see that as a sign. It's like, hey, there might be something coming. These people are spending $1 trillion every 100 days. That's not a sustainable. See, that's what's so hard to be here, guys, because it doesn't I don't know anybody I can talk to about economics. Oh, crap, we got to go to calculator math. Oh, see you, bye, I got to go. It's like, whoa, man, seriously? These are future generations' money that we're spending so we get stimulus checks and, live the lavish life that we live now and have all these people can live in their ivory towers that, 8 richest families own, nearly 50%. The world's population, the money, it's sickening. Children die in the streets and 8 families have all the money. That's crazy. Or half the money. So it is what it is. I can't change any of that stuff, brothers and sisters, in that bigger sense, but I can have an effect, and I think I do. Not like that, because as far as letting God use me and not sit there and letting this world overcome me, like I said, and getting up every day and continuing to fight the fight, the hard fight, try to do the hard. The hard thing's probably the right thing, The easy thing's normally the wrong thing. So, yeah, we all know. That's what I'm saying. All this. Look, guys, we're going to say this too. The reason why I just ripped Magpie a new, one eye back there, the cat, that hole, I ripped her a new one, or him or her or whatever. The biggest polluters on the planet is the militaries, brothers and sisters. I am tired, and I'm going to continue. And this you need to share. This you need to start making very well known. For how long has the military-industrial complex, to include all these other ones that fight with us, China now has a larger navy than the United States, okay, just so you know. They all get a free pass and destroy more animals and pollute this planet more than all the civilization combined. All our industry, all us farting cows. How come they get a free pass on everything? They destroy the planet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The militaries don't take a day off. Military goes 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I don't think people understand. This like the stuff they want veterans like me to shut up about. Or why veterans like me finally say, oh man, I can't believe what I just did, I mean, we go over and mesh the oceans. We have destroyed the military, other than our plastic, but seriously, animals and just bomb, like somebody's saying, all these ordinances and undersea, like Ross is talking about, if they did that, no animals lost their life that day. Hell yeah, they did. Nobody even said one time, hey, what about the animals? They blew up all the animals down there when Biden said, okay, we're going to blow up your pipeline. He just said he was going to do it. It's just crazy, guys. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to get up every day because it's like, am I the only one here? Because I feel like I'm trapped in some kind of game, like it's like not even real. Like I'm a third person, over the shoulder view or something here. Like what? But I know that's what I'm saying, because I know he's controlling me, but I'm like, whoa, is anybody out there? I'm like Roger Waters here, like Pinky all trapped in my chair. What's going on here, man? I'm just this like, whoa, this is incredible how far we've spun. I used to think it was how could this not be Mad Max by now, right? I know it's a controlled demolition, as I told you, and they are doing it by the script. So, wow, like I said, when the president is full on, has his house decorated with Satan and nobody cares, it's like, he sells you a Bible that's got not a pledge of allegiance to God, but to the flag, of these, it's incredible. It's just, It's like, dude, like seriously, like, has anybody looked into the whole earmark thing? Did anybody go and watch that Fishers of Men video that I told you to watch? Not Fishers of Men. Scratch that video. That's not even the same content creator anymore. What they do with that dude? I think he might still be in jail. But oh yeah, we got to say, give out a little shout out for Liam too. Liam X Mel, man, a content creator. They threw in jail here in Oregon, guys. I don't know what Liam did, but man, that cat. He had it. He worked hard. He worked hard, man, and that name probably has been said forever, and the algorithm's gonna be like, kiss my left, you know what? I was a moderator for his channel. He was a good dude, and he lived here, and he worked hard, and he stood. A family man too. They took a family man's life, man, and so, anyways, got to stand up for the people who've been doing this a long time, brothers, sisters. Some of us are kind of, I don't mean to go there because I ain't trying to get no label. We're kind of OGs at this. It feels good to stand up. Some people have just started to, after the COVID, they woke up. Some of us have been doing this for decades. And it feels good when you finally come out of that. You notice I will not call it the Matrix, because the Matrix is what we came into this third dimension through. You didn't go into no Matrix. A Matrix is the woman's third eye. A guy's, most guys, they spend 9 months trying to get out there, and the rest of their life trying to get back in through that Matrix. Okay. That's a Matrix, guys. See, that's what I'm saying. How do I live in a world where they take a word called Matrix and they turn it into this? And my son, this is what's so Matrix about it, right? Because we'll play the term and use the term and blah, 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 blah. I guess he said he watched the movies with me. My son, he's like, Dad, I watched Matrix with you. What are you talking about? You watched Matrix? I'm like, I didn't never see Matrix. He's like, yes, you did, Dad. Woo, Matrix, right? I don't know, man. Did you take the blue pill? I don't know what that's all about. I don't remember ever seeing even 1 second of that movie. None of them. He said we watched both or all. I have them here somewhere, but that's kind of incredible. Oh, I let this. Got an ears here or something. Easy. Oh, man. Okay, so I just find it, like I said, I just find it pretty incredible that there's a lot of these things. I guess I can't be alive right now. Dude, what the hell are they teaching these freaking kids in school? How are they teaching what they teach kids in school, guys? We know what they're teaching them. I'm in a state where they can get involved if a child is, I think it's probably safe to on this. Positioning that a parent says, no, they're not. Yeah, they'll put you in jail. If your child is in public schools which a lot of people kind of have to because they don't have the money to either send them to a private or, I don't know, they just don't take the time. But how is that happening? How are we okay with that, guys? That's happening in Washington and Oregon and California now, I believe. And there was 2 states. I think there might be a third now. How is that happening? How are these other states not rising up and saying, we're not better not let that happen here? So it's alarming to me. It is so alarming. It's so alarming that happens. And the kids are about ready to go back to school again, and they're going to teach them this filth. Jack's button on Jill, and and Jill's pocket on Jack. This is crazy. I'm serious. That I don't understand how that's happening. How is this? These are the children we're talking about here, guys. I just don't know. Like I said, there's so many things I continue every day. I'm like, Tracy, you can't change this. Stop thinking about it. Yeah, like I'm not trying to change it, but I can't stop thinking about it. Where are all those fucking people from San Francisco that they just disappeared when Xi Jinping came to town? Cleaned up the whole town, just like during the Olympics over there. I've never heard anybody say another word about it. Where are those people at? I don't care if they were on drugs and they were homeless, they were people. Not one word has since. I can't forget these things. How is this seriously, where are all those people? Do you realize what it took to amass all that stuff out of that? How is that even real? Still, to this day, I've not forgotten about it. That's always in the back of my mind. Where all this no-tuck truck drivers came forward. Nobody's ever... This stuff, we're supposed to be in a world where all this is filmed. Am I alive, guys? Am I just... Because this doesn't even seem... They did not fly American flags. They flew yellow and red and a couple rainbow. What? Yep, this is the world you live in, Tracy. How is it? Did that happen in your guys' reality too? Is this, or am I in the, I'm not going to say it. This is crazy. I don't understand. Guys, where are all those people? That was a whole city and proof they could do that at any time they want to. They could have done it months, years in advance. And they could do it again if they wanted to. What the hell, man? Hold on, I can stand up. I get overwhelmed. I don't know how people forget all these things. I'm never going to forget. I want to know where all those people are at. Nobody's ever come forward. Nobody's ever talked about it. Nobody's said a word about it. I just everybody forget about it. For me to blow up, man, like there's so many things that have happened in this country. Maybe it's I'm a veteran and, you're going to defend this country against all its foreign domestic. There's something that's ingrained into my brain or what it makes me. But they're people. How is that even I said that the whole time. It was like, dude, this just happened. How's this even a thing, man? That's why they don't want me as the pretendant of this divided states of America, because I'll bring home all our militaries, and I'll put all these politicians and most people who worked, the 40% of the population will probably do time or pay fines. Yeah, they will. And all the law enforcement officers who've been enforcing capital letter straw man law against the people, their bonds will be sued, and they will be the people they extorted. Will be some kind of, get some kind of reimbursement for all the illegal taxation. There you go. Thank you. Nobody cares about Hawaii. What about all those kids in Hawaii? My son went to school over there. I'm glad I got the hell out of there, man. Something told me to get out of there. I lived in Hawaii with my son. I knew something was up, man. And seriously, what about all those kids in Hawaii? Speaking of the 808, you know, guys, why do we just forget these things? Just had a 1 million acre barbecue in Texas not that long ago. They were flipping over cars in Chile, having a chili bowl. 2 tickets to paradise, boiling the water over there, burning houses, burning from the inside out, sewers smoking. Just people just forget. Ask the Aussies. Ask the Canadians. I think they've had a little barbecue up there too, huh? Are you going to be next? It's crazy all this stuff that goes on. And people just so swept. You guys, I'm so old school. When something happened, they printed in what was called a newspaper. And it would stay there for a week on the front page. Who's that old with me? Seriously, you wouldn't even go to the back page. Well, to the next page for, if it depends how breaking news it. You guys remember that, huh? That's the world I remember, man. What the hell? That's so 30 seconds ago. That's so, they don't even want it so yesterday. That's so 30 seconds ago. These people have got the attention span of a fly, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be rude or, but I just don't forget that you cannot drop 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. I'll never forget. You know that. Nimrod, I always point to who did it, so whatever. You only have to point out to who's got the tallest building in the world, so anyways, it's incredible. I told you, I didn't do that, man. Darn it. I didn't take a picture of the first ladies. I encourage you to look that up all on your own. I told you start doing some sizing things, some things up, you might want to realize they can do a lot of things. They can tell a lot of lies. They can get you in school and get you going with the flow and get you working for currency instead of money. They got you working for dead presidents. Fooled your ass, didn't they? Did it again. Darn it. Whatever. Not perfect. You're slipping, dude. You're slipping. All right. Hey, what am I going to do here? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Because I have to put up. I got to eat something so I can continue. We'll rip this stream out a little bit, and then we'll. I don't think I should stay up too late. Stay up too late. get a drink of water, girl? Will you drink of water? Mama, mama. Mama, mama. Oh. Stuck in there. Good enough. Good enough. Push that down. All right. First she made Big Mac. So. What haven't you forgotten about that they've done to us, you know? What about, you know, suspend the convertibility of the dollar to gold, you know, right? Take us off the gold standard, right? How's that they get away with doing that? The inception of the century, 1913, right? Jekyll Island. All that. How's that even a thing? How is it that they go out and that all these law enforcement officers, and I don't give a shit who they are, I don't care what authority they think they have, I don't care. I'm not intimidated by cops as far as I'll do what I have to do in the time to not get myself unalive, but I do stand up when the time is. How is it that we have such an ignorant public that does not realize that they're being extorted by being a corporation in capital letters? Their social security card, their birth certificate, and their driver's license is all attached to this bond, which is called, they sell it the bond or treasury, your labor. The whole, it's incredible. If any law enforcement officer knew they were doing that to the U.S. public, what the fuck would they put a badge on and a gun? I've been a law enforcement officer myself and go out and do that. I didn't even know I was doing it when I was doing it. Guilty. So I know I've done it. It's not like I know. But I wouldn't do that again. That's why I point it out now. Because the shoe's been on the other foot. So, you know, victimless crime, guys. Victimless crime. Victimless crime. We got a border problem, and we have over 1,000 military bases. We're gonna have dead Americans dying in the street tonight, but there's gonna be people who here get benefits. They're gonna send money to Ukraine, more money, hundreds of billions of dollars sent over there, and there's gonna be dead children that die. And why do these people support these politicians and vote for these people? Why does the American public not realize this was a constitutional republic and not a democracy? There were little checks and balances, not all this executive order crap that these presidents have pulled in the last. This isn't what this country was. So this isn't America. It's not what this country is. This is not a free country. This is not what people think they do. This country is the same damn country as this country hasn't even made. They put out, what is that? Lady in red might be able to look this up for me when she has the time. They put out a list every year, like the top 10 freest countries in the world. United States hasn't been on that list in quite some time, just so you know. Yeah, there's countries that have a lot more rights. I'm free, but whatever. I'm not going to do that right now, but seriously, it's incredible. there's a lot of native-born Americans that have never left this country. His name wasn't Mike, though, just so you know. That's not what his name wasn't Mike. He played for the Oregon Beavers, and his name wasn't Mike. So, but I know who you're talking about. Just like his name isn't Barack, his name is Barry. So, go look at my videos from, well, that's 2008, 7, or whatever, when I was putting that out on this platform, and you'll see I was telling you all back then. So, hey, careful. Joan Rivers found out not to speak too soon, right? Huh? No poor Joan Rivers. Crazy old actor. She's going straight to hell. Right? No. She's not going to hell until judgment. Nobody goes to heaven or nobody goes to hell. Where in the abyss do you get that from? Where in the TARDIS, Hades, hell do you get that from? Nobody goes to hell until the 7th trumpet sounds. Nice, yeah. Oh, yeah. They have gone after our right to peacefully assemble. You have to ask for a permit to have some kind of protest? What the hell is that about? Really? You have to ask permission to protest. You have to ask permission to feed your food if you want to go fishing. That's crazy. America, boys. I live in a country where everybody in the country thinks they're the good guy, but outside the country, everybody thinks we're the bad guy. And we'll go down in history as the bad guy. We will. We're the only country to ever drop a nuclear bomb on another country. And no other countries even come close to having 1,000 military bases. If you outside this country and you ask which country they fear most, they'll tell you the United States of America. So obviously that is still working. Oh, wait. Times are changing, brothers and sisters. The Saudis said they're taking ruble and the dong or the dinar or the bolivar or whatever. Remember? Not just the U.S. petrodollar. Oh. The gig is up, guys. That's what kept this country afloat since 1971. 73 Richard Nixon, 71 suspends the convertibility of the dollar to gold. 73 all nations reprice their oil in the U.S. dollar. Yes, America gets a little bit of piece of the pie from everybody and stops them if they don't. Whatever did happen to Mr. Saddam, huh? They never did find any of them weapons of mass destruction, did they? Didn't work out too well for Gaddafi to try to pay for oil with something other than the U.S. dollar, did it? His whole country, oh my gosh. You guys, please take a look. Never forget how beautiful Muammar Gaddafi had made his country and how prosperous and well that country was doing on their own. Oh yeah, remember all those, he had drilled into the aquifer and was watering up, was going to pay for his oil in gold, remember? Or we'll have none of that, says the U.S. We went there and destroyed that country. Look at it in pictures. Prior to the United States going over there with their military operation, look how beautiful that country was. Gore, it was really just what they had created out there in the desert. Those people were, look into it, please. Know your history. Look what we did to that country. Dragged that man around behind a vehicle in the streets and literally like it was a sickening what we do, man. Sickening what these 1,000+ military bases in over 180 countries do to other countries. Intimidating world police going out and forcing everybody with the boot on the neck of the nations. Forcing everybody since 1973 to pay with the US dollar, or we will come blow your houses up, your kids up, your whole country. We'll blow up your freaking pipelines. We'll blow it all up. America, boys, yeah! You like you're proud to be American bullcrap? I'm tired of it. Tired of those kind of people, too. Uneducated thumpsters is what most of those people are. So, yeah, let's never forget that more people voted for Al Gore. Get back in the closet, Al Gore. More people voted for Al Gore. Yeah, CO2 is plant food. Get back in the closet, Al Gore. Your children are seeing snow again. You know, the polar ice caps were going to melt. All the polar bears are going to die. Yeah, get back in the closet, Al Gore. More president, most popular president in the history of mankind. Your votes, presidential votes for the Al Gore, believe it or not. And they gave you Baby Bush. I told you to stay out of the bushes. Nobody will listen to me. Anyways, it's incredible. Remember, Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, brothers and sisters. It's all kind of based on a lie. How long do you think it was going to really last? You know what I mean? Let's be real. We did pretty good. Normally, reserve currencies have about an 80-year shelf life. We're there. We made it. It's already changing. So, you know, the pendulum is swinging. I said this 10, 15 years ago, you know, internet on this platform, there's a pendulum that swings from the east to the west. It's on about a 400 to 500 year cycle. And it was already way back 10 years ago when I was talking about swinging back the other way. So Alice in Wonderland, we're way down that rabbit hole now. Most people don't see it happening. So yeah, got a great idea. Remember, you're either with us or you're with the enemy. I hate to break it to you, you're the enemy to them. I hate to break it to you, you are the swamp. Middle class, how'd they do that? They drained that right out of this country, didn't they? They weren't going after, never did find any underground children and railroads and all that. Yeah, pizza, Cosmo, get out of here. That's why Liam went away, guys. Liam was on the gate, you know, exposing the billery. Liam was a rock star, man. He had no fear in his eyes. Never could see no fear in that man's eyes. Yes, I feel better. Got something on my back. So, yeah, you're just goyim to them. You're just literally useless food eaters. You're in the way. In this solar minimum, they know you're going to be consuming food that they want access to, that they can actually grow on their own now. They don't need you anymore. No, they don't. Look at the freaking auto industry, not that, and look at it now. They don't need anybody hardly anymore, bro. They already have an fully automated McDonald's. I don't want to hear it. You're a useless food eater. You might as well just start growing your own. Seriously, because what they're going to offer you is, listen to me on this. I want to point out another channel. And I heard this also through Ransom Godwin. No, it's not just John Williams, not at shadowstats.com. John Williams, the real, not the CP lie. The consumer price index, but they took all the things out of that number, like fuel, food, rent, all our costs of living, took all that out because that shit was inflating in the 80s. The number would be way. That's John Williams. Once again, I'm not talking about John Williams from shadowstats.com. So go over and see him if you like to pay attention to the economic side of things, because dollars and cents make sense to you more than, well, no, dollars and cents are just currency, not money. But John Williams is a content creator on this channel. And he's talking about these capital controls coming. I talked about it too already. How because they're can't compete anymore because the price of everything has got so high, they're going to use automation. We talked about this on the live stream the other day. A robot doesn't call in sick. A robot won't fuck his boss and cause a whole problem within the company. Whoa, Tracy, seriously. Generally, robots won't do that. They don't ask for smoke breaks. They don't ask for, 401k. They might have a shelf life, but they're much more cost efficient. And I really, truly hate that the world that I live in is that they should put probation officers in, parole officers, and they should replace them with robots. I'm not into that. I don't want to do none of that. I don't like that. But seriously, they should put parole officers and probation officers just like over the phone, not, or apply. They would apply a better situation for, because they're supposed to, assess their risk to reoffend and assign number. A robot would do a much better job. And then they wouldn't be so, emotional. These people in probation or parole, you try to talk to them, you can't raise your voice. You have to be like a robot. Yes, you do. What do you mean, ma'am? I mean, my son, he already did. Sir, you're yelling at me. Ma'am, I'm just talking to you. I'm a little excited. I'm not on probate. Click. The fuck? I'm trying to get something done. I can't even click. What? Like you're talking to your girlfriend that got mad at you, your boyfriend that got mad. These people are freaking morons. And a robot would do a much better job than 98% of the people who are probation and parole officers. People who work for that department, either over the phone or hold on, we're going to, seriously. That's crazy. And I don't like, because I don't want to push, mixer in the iron with the watery clay. Well, not cleave, but I'm not concerned. But they're going to try, or they'll just blend it into society, like I told you. And you're going to go to the McDonald's. There won't be one hot live body with a heartbeat in that building, but yet you'll still get your big attack Mac or whatever you eat. That's food is freaking poison now. They've already shown everybody there's no food coming out of McDonald's. No, there's not. That's not food. That is not food. That's food flavored poison. Their potatoes, their fries, their meat. There's done too much. How much DNA? You're eating human, whether you like it or not. You're eating 10,000 cows in one burger. It's filthy. All those places, all that fast food is not consumable, and people yet they do. And they already did the whole whatever that movie was, but I'm this worse than what they're telling you. I'm telling you this just so let's go back to what I was saying. anybody's in this market that's got to compete with these companies, obviously, is going to have to figure out a way with the price of everything so stinking high to compete. They're going to have to cut their cost to compete just to stay in business. But what did John use? John Williams, he used greatcreditfast.com. Go to greatcreditfast.com. You got charge off repos. Go see John Williams. But he's talking about the fact that he used a soup can as a kind of an example that if it costs them, $1 to make a soup and, so they have 50-cent profit, that's the margin that they need or whatever. But if the costs get cut back down to where it's $1 a can, they can't stay in business. So they're going to have to find a way to cut costs, and that's going to cut quality. And they're going to add more fillers, and they can't add no more filler on the what's the one that they add? If they add any more, guys, it would make us just deathly sick. We would get, what is it? They make it out of like the inside of like cane, like sugar, the inside of that white. Oh, what is that stuff called? It's a filler, guys. It's disgusting that they put it in all the foods. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Normally things don't slip my brain like that. I don't think I smoked enough cannabis, guys. I didn't really took a couple puffs off and just didn't really do I don't know. My brain's a little weird. I told you. Anyways, it turns clear. You don't see it in your food. It's a filler. They put it in there. If the percentage was any more higher, we would literally get sick, guys. It's filthy what they put into the foods these days. They make it out of a bunch of different products. They use the pulp and they breathe it down, and it's just filler. There's no protein content. There's no nutritional value to it. I don't know what it doesn't matter. It's in all your food anyways. Corn syrup, all these things. It's incredible how, like that, guys. Come on. How do I live in a food where like 90% of the food they sell us is freaking poison? Bread. You mean flour and baking soda and a dash of salt or something? You know what? No, the freaking list of things what is all the guys? That is incredible. How do we live in a world? They just feed us, they just poison us pretty much. And then what sucks, guys, too, is we could just be growing all our own food. Like, I'm gonna have a little bone to pick with the Father, and he's gonna kick my ass either way. Trust you me. He's just crushed me no other. I'm not like, but Father, I tried for like 10 years to build a community so that I didn't have to eat any crap. I can't do it all on my own, Father. I just can't grow all food on my own. I'm not the guy. You didn't make me that guy to do it by myself. I would be all whiny baby, and my plants wouldn't even do very well because I wouldn't have a community. I wouldn't have that thing. I wouldn't even try it. I've tried out here, guys. I've struggled a little bit out here just because of the weather more than anything. Not that I know how to grow plants, but I'm just saying I grew a garden for years out here and lost it every year because I didn't get it covered in time. So, yeah, potassium bromide. Oh, yeah. Oh, see, that's what I'm saying, guys. If you can't read it, don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? It's filthy. Bromate is a halogen. It's part of the bromine. That's a halogen, like potassium bromide. That's they put that in and use it as a tenderizer. They put it in water. Companies will put it in their water. If one of these companies or cities gets hip that they're putting another halogen, would be fluoride, and they'll put that. It's a derivative, but the fluoride is another halogen, and they'll just put it with the potassium and bromate or bromide in their water, and the people just shut the hell up. But it's still just a halogen, and the halogens are bad for you. Halogens will kill you. Okay, iodine, you're not oxidized iodine that you put on your wound or your cuts, but that's a good halogen. Chloride is a halogen, and that's another one. They give you that on death row to stop your heart. And that's what they put in the water, in the municipal water supply, Hey, it widens your whites, brightens your brights. It gets rid of all the fecal and coliform bacteria. Bam. Boom shakalaka. Remember the little tablets you put in your water? What do you think that is? Chlorine bleach. Chloride, potassium chloride, potassium fluoride, potassium and bromide. These are all halogens, brothers, sisters. Iodine, potassium iodine, that's the good one. Don't drink the oxidized, or they have, you should look into some nascent iodine. That's a good way to, anything that's electrified, that you're an electric being. And so it's going to naturally get the potassium out in front of it. Yeah, it's a halogen. It does. It calcifies us. It does. It's part of our, that's a good, thank you for Melissa, that's what it does. I worked for the water company for a lot of years. I worked for Culligan and stuff, and boy, I was a pain in their ass, but whatever it is, it is what it is, man. You don't know they're putting poison. They got the skull and bones when they add this stuff in the water system, guys. That's, the crossbones and the skull corrosive, the one and they're adding it to the water. You're like, now wait a minute, but I work for the company that they filter it all out, so I know a little bit more. Guys, a lot of municipalities take their own sewer, send it back in through their water municipality and filter it and send it back out as public city water. Yeah, welcome to America, boys. We got crumbling infrastructure and we're drinking our own shit water. It can be filtered out, brothers and sisters, but that's incredible. I mean, that's just, oh, wow. And people are cool with it, man. Oh, yeah, shitty drink shit, Whoa. Yep. There's better ways to get bacteria out of your water, brothers and sisters. Use copper or use silver. You don't need to use any chemicals, okay? No, you don't. The silver's been used for thousands of years to keep your water free of bacteria. All my water filters, that's what I run in my filters, is silver. And it keeps my water filters sparkly and clean. Is a whistle. Clean Irish Spring. Clean as a whistle. Remember that jingle? Uh-oh, here he goes again. Well. Oh, the luck of the Irish boys. Oh, I can let my pups in. All right, Bob in. Come on, my best guys. My best guys I ever did. Best guys, I love you, boys. I love you, boys. You guys are good boys. You guys are my boys that I ever single had. My best popping dogs. My best poppers. Yeah, how is it that we could have the government has passed so many laws against water, like in the area. Actually, this is one of the areas. Was one of the areas that came out, and I was pretty blown away when I read through. But even if you drill a well in this area, the city still owns your well, the access to your water. Even if you have a private well. Pretty incredible what this is a farming community because they've been able to do it because the farmers and the water, this is just all this water management. It's just over micromanaged, if you will. But, people used to think it was funny when they thought you'd have to pay for water. And then now, seriously, there was a time, some of you guys, if you're old as me or older, you'll remember that we used to think it was funny that you'd have to pay for water, like Nobody's gonna have to pay for water. They're gonna make you pay for air. Seriously. Sure, you guys probably don't remember that, but we didn't have microwaves back then. We didn't have. No, get up and change the channel. We didn't have remote controls. Not always TV came with a remote, so you were the remote. Push your hand to TV. Push your feet to that. Get up and push the hand. Yeah, you get to push feet, to push hand, to push remote. Didn't know there was no remote. So, thank you. All right, lady. You know what I'm saying? So crazy how fast this world is and how we, at the tone, the time will be. You know what I mean? Guys, we used to call 411, man, to get the information. We didn't have no net. We did a lot of things different. We were stuck on a phone that you can only go so far away from your wall, Phones were stuck to the wall. They were landline. They were on a line, You guys remember calling you had to clear the operator? That's all. Hey, I'm not old, but I know, like I said, there were still people that the system was still used. Uh-oh. But ding. Oh, I got there. I'll turn that off. I got that Bluetooth on this. How the heck do I have my Bluetooth on there? Where's that? Turn that off. Okay, boom. Disconnected. All right, so anyways, what time we got? I could sit here and rant all night, huh? That's all you do ever is rant, Tracy. You should just turn yours into a permanent rant channel, huh? Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. Just sitting here wondering sometimes if it's real, if I'm really living, if I'm really alive and there's really other people here. It feels often very surreal at times, guys. Again, how do we go from public display of affection that children aren't supposed to even seeing that to, clowns reading to kids in libraries? I don't know. I just don't know how some of the things have gone, amok the way they have and so fast, and how some stand still every single day and then they just don't get brought up. And they just get forgotten. And that's what I'm saying. Is people think I'm nuts for living away from society and kind of checking, myself. I haven't checked out of society, but, definitely separated myself from, I don't want to be around any city or high density population area. I don't. There's nothing appealing to me about being around a lot of people. It actually just, it's a little unnerving because it's just, I don't know. I'm not too bothered, but I just don't want to be around them. And I normally just leave, like when I normally have to go to the city, if I don't make a list, I won't stay there. I'll leave. If I get dog food and eat a burrito, I'm happy. Okay, got to go by the Goodwill. I'll try to go by Walmart, get some paper plates. I hate going to that place. I'll go by and get this item that I saw on the internet or something that I can make some money on. You know what I'm saying? I'll get a burrito. So I'll make a list of 4 or 5 things. Man, I get the dog food and the burrito. I'm good. I'm out of there. See, but I don't care about another. I'm whatever. If I don't make a list, I don't stay there. Sometimes I make a list and I don't even stay there. So I just can't be around that high dense. And I'm fine. I just want to leave. And so I want to just go home. Because normally my dogs are at the house. Now I just want to be back with my dogs. So told you I got PTSD kind of in weird ways too. Like I said, it's not, I don't get like no panic disorders or nothing like that, but I just can't be around too many people. I just don't mesh with the way the world is right now. I don't like how people are so accepting of the way things are. This is not a time where things are nice and, butterflies and bubbles and rainbows. But that seems like to be most people's world. It's very, strawberry shortcake kind of, I don't know what they're doing. Fruitcake, shortcake, whatever. They're into their whatever. I'm not trying to change it. I just don't blend well with it. So that's why I live where I live. And I don't have any neighbors, and I tend to do better with, and I can have neighbors, and I have no problem with neighbors. I just don't want any neighbors. Would you rather not have neighbors? Do you have neighbors? Wouldn't you rather not have neighbors? What would you rather have, money or time? You can have a bunch of time or have a bunch of money. What would you want? Well, if I had a bunch of money, I get a bunch of, okay, whatever. You want more money, I bet. Damn, that blew really fast. I need more money. Oh, you won't get no time back. Money you can make more of. You can't print time. They can't print that. You can't get it back, brother, sister. So use your time wisely, man. You know what I'm saying? This is amazing time to be here, and even though it's tough, there are beautiful things around us, but it's just strange to see how all of these things, I had a lot of, for 15, 20 years, a lot of ideas what I was going to think it was going to be very similar to this day, but man, so many things are way farther beyond that I thought that they would be. And I'm not talking about Mad Max. I never thought it was going to be Mad Max. I thought that things could get rough, but I never thought that they would. That's just a movie to me. I've never really been into the whole preparedness. To me, is a lifestyle. It's not like end of the world. We're all going to die. That's television. That's, making you believe something that you see in the narrative that's swaying the masses and pushing propaganda on people through, a lot of this mainstream things that we tend to bite on because people look for it as far as, I don't know, people love Hollywood. That's what I call it. I call it Hollywood. People live Hollywood. They do what they see on television. They're parrots, and they mock their actors, and they take a genre on. I'm this and I'm that. I'm this. I'm red. I'm blue. I'm Christian. I'm Catholic. I'm this. What's my go-to scripture for Trinity? Trinity is blasphemous. That's my go-to scripture. There's no scripture that covers Trinity. That's a Catholicism thing. God is not one God. That's their transgender God, 3-in-1 God. That's what the Trinity is. Man, beast, and woman. There you go. You've been unforwarded and unperverted, like there's Satan is a Trinity God. Tri-God, transgender Trinity, Father, the Son, the Holy. Get the fuck out of here with your Catholicism. You eating of the flesh, mass A, eat my body. That's the body of the sex orgy king that was, they would sleep with beast, man, and woman. It was an orgy. So that's what Trinity is. Trinity is an orgy. Jesus, transgender marinated sex biscuit ritual called Catholicism that said, why did he call out of this Father? How about that for some, go back to scripture where he was being, where that's at? Go back to where he was being, Pontius Pilate had him, right? No, it wasn't him. It was the ferret, remember? Well, he called out to his Father. How could he be one God if he called it Father? Why must you forsake? Oh, Catholics are pagans and Satanists. And so are Christians and Baptists and Mormons and Lutherans and Presbyterians and Protestants and Seventh-day Adventists, and all of them. They're all Satanists because they all celebrate self and birth. They're I don't know of any religions that don't celebrate self. And at the time of Christ, they didn't celebrate birth dates. Well, they celebrate the birth of their orgy, sex, transgender, biscuit, ritual, marinated Jesus, crackers and grape juice, Catholicism, peasant who got to live like a king. And they ate his body as a burnt offering to their son God after 7-day orgy. Man on beast, beast on beast, beast on woman, beast on man, woman on beast. It was an orgy. Did that answer your question there, Scott? Anybody ever give you actually any biblical history on it? Trinity is blasphemous, and so is the manger scene, and so is all this crackers and grape juice, communion, and it's all vanity. It's all the traditions of men. It's not biblical. It's all, Christ was not a baby when they came into Bethlehem. What the heck's going on, man? Nobody wants to say, hey, hopefully that answers your question. So God is not it's not the Trinity. So that's Catholicism is what that is. That's transgender worship of the transgender God who had breast, hoofs, and horns. Man, beast, and woman, all in one. What do you know? It's like knocking 3 steel buildings down, right? With 2 airplanes and a little bit of Tesla tech, and then forming that same 3 triangles up, triangle, 3 triangles up, as is above, so is below. What do you think the One World Freedom Trade Center is? Va, 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 that Mr. O'Vomit went up to the top, who wrote, we came, you remember all that? So don't fall for transgender gods and Trinity. That's not, God is a separate, one Godhead, but 3 separate. So he would have never called out to his Father. So there's no Trinity. That's blasphemy. Catholicism, that's just their pagan Trinity God. There you go. There's another Trinity God. Jesus! Jesus God. Christmas Jesus God. Christ was not born on December 25th. Satan was born on December 25th. I hope you don't worship the birth of Christ on December 21st. You're worshiping Satan. You just don't know. You're just unlearned, ignorant, or idiotos. You just, I don't know. You tell me. You go after these traditions of men, and there you go. They didn't celebrate birth. There's no birth dates in Scripture. Notice that? Oops, wrong. No, they blended all their pagan and lunar calendar to line up all this Christmas worship, man. Lupercalia, the dog god, the one with the same Nimrod. Semiramis was the, Mithra and Semiramis. They married the star goddess, the fertility star. Ashtaroth, the moon, like Moloch, they threw their kids in the fire. Kids, like throw the Yule log. You as a baby lamb, throw the Yule log on the fire. Yule wheel worship. It's blasphemy. It's mocking Christ, and people are too ignorant. So it's too bad people go after the traditions of men. And when it says, if you were to pray like this, our Father who art not in the sky, who in heaven, because heaven's the ruling class. Yes, he creates all things. That's what he said. He creates evil. Look at the book of Isaiah. God creates evil. Evil doesn't create evil. God created evil, and evil doesn't create evil. God creates evil. God created good and evil. But most of your lollipop Christians don't want to sit there and Presbyterians, Baptist, Calvinist. There you go, Scott. You're an idiot now. Or you're just stupid, because I already told you. What's the difference between stupidity and ignorance? You've been told, and I already told you. Maybe you just didn't hear me. Satan didn't create evil. God created evil. It's in the book of Isaiah, okay? Was it 48:7? Where's it? I don't like quoting scripture. I don't like doing that. I really try to block out all the verses and all, not as far as the numbers. I don't do it very often. I do it with certain scripture just because I feel it's relevant, but no, I like to put it all the scripture in one, because my brother Jim taught me that. I don't have to sit there and do that like that. I don't. I just need to take up my cross. He's refining the ministry so much, brothers and sisters. I just have so much phileo for Brother Jim. He's and Agape is, he truly has helped me know that I don't sit there and rattle off numbers every time I quote scripture. That actually comes off as very religious. I learned that when I was younger but I didn't listen. I just kept doing it because I thought it was what I needed to do. It would make me, you know, people would believe me if I quoted every scripture with a number. And then again, when I hear Brother Jim too, when he's teaching just you know, to the body that we need to go out and take up our cross, that we don't have to, it doesn't have to be, you know, we don't change anything. Remember, don't add or to, but if what the word is said, is not changed, you know, they're still getting the same meaning. If you don't get it exactly right, you know, that's not, God's not going to rebuke us for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not, that's, you know, we're doing what it is that we're supposed to do. I mean, remember, the love of money is the root of all evil. Money's not the root of all evil. So you can't add or take away. And I'm not saying that, but as far as what I'm saying is by adding the number. So if I'm not mistaken, it's in the book of Isaiah. I think it's 48 and 7, where God says that he creates evil. So too bad Scott was an idiot and just couldn't listen to me and didn't go look at it. You know, that's fine. And no, everybody, they do that. No evil creates evil. That's how we do this, guys. Seriously, people are easy to spot if they've been gone after another Jesus and another gospel. Cool. You can discuss when Christ was born. It doesn't matter at all when Jesus is born. We're not even supposed to talk about birth dates. It doesn't. It's so irrelevant, his birthday. It truly is so irrelevant because they didn't even celebrate births, and he doesn't want us to celebrate. Read the book of Ecclesiastes 7:1. There we go. See, I don't like doing that, but see, you can make me go there. You know, so if I had to pick a day that Christ was born, I would say he was born on September 11th. So that's when I think he was born, right before the sheep were put up in the pasture. But you can have your own studies. I've done so much studying on his birth, looking into Israel and looking into, I'm a sheep farmer, and into the rains, and looking into studying Israel and studying the time, you know, because I also have these celestial markers that most people don't have to work with. And I don't have a lunar pagan calendar in my head. I have a 360 perfect circle calendar, day calendar in my head. The Hebrew calendar is 5784. It's not 2024, but people just love their man and their lunacy, their lunatics, and they love their lunar worship and their owl and Moloch and tree and fire and birth. It's just their nature. They just think it's okay, you know. So they love their traditions of men, and that's what they go after is the traditions of men. So I can't, yeah, it can be discussed. It can be discussed. I don't mind anybody. That's why I told you I'm kind of lighthearted about it. When somebody's like, if like you, Dale, and bring it up, that's cool. I told you, I think he was born on 9/11. Go back 40 weeks to that day. What day is that? Kind of an important day in my life. You might figure something out by that too. The math doesn't lie too. So, seriously, you might use the ingestation time that it takes. See, my brain works like that. I don't, you know, I take numbers. I work just because I was, you know, certified reconstructionist. That my brain doesn't think about most things with an opinion. It always thinks mathematically before it thinks about anything. It runs it through the numbers. It crunches the numbers first. It's crazy. I really wish I didn't have this brain sometimes. It kind of interferes with when I'm trying to have just a rational thought in my head. It has to go through the calculus first, right? It's weird. It's weird. It'd be good to be dead. It will be good to be dead. Not have to turn this brain on in the morning and wake up to this whatever's going on inside here, you know. What's the longest distance I've ever walked? Well, in the military, I ran. Used to run 20 miles every week, but walk. I think I've walked. Remember one time I was north of Eugene, and I walked to Cresswell, That was a pretty good little walk there. But probably do more walking in jail than I do anywhere else. I put more miles in jail. If you lock me up, I'm like a freaking animal. I can't stop walking. I don't like to sit down when I read the word. I lay down just for a few hours, and I'm one of those guys, when you put me in a cage, I don't stop. I don't know why, but I just, something about sitting, I just can't. So I read until I have to get up, and then I get it through to, and then I can sit down and read, and then I might get up and eat, but then I'll pass. It's so that, I don't know, man, I could put a lot of miles in, and walk all day. So, I've hiked a lot, I've hunted, so I've walked 20, 30 miles, and, before, I'm sure I've done, hiked in first thing in the morning, just all day long, it's a walk, hunting, it can cover a lot of ground. Hunting, I've covered a lot of ground. I hunt by myself too, which is not normally, but, and I'm not a tree hunter. I like to keep going, and make a long, big loop, or normally is what I do, but I don't know what the exact, everything's mathematical, almost everything, David, I know I've walked at least 20 or 30 miles though, like I said, I used to run 20 miles a week, or sometimes twice in a week, for when I was doing in the military, and it was part of their special reaction team in the military. It's not SWAT, and I was SWAT certified as well, LAPD, Metro, but we used to run. I'm trying to do a project at the church 30 miles from me, but I couldn't make it halfway. Let's keep run that. Oh yeah, well, I was pretty young there. I mean, recently, hell, I sold a I sold a truck. The driveway, at the end of the driveway down there, the guy was Hispanic, and I wasn't going to try to explain to him how to get to this house, which is not hard. And I knew he'd buy the truck, and I just didn't want to make it. I needed the money to sell, and I didn't need to waste time. And I was kind of in a crunch. I didn't even want to sell the truck. I just had, I couldn't come up with enough extra money to just, and I was forced to sell it. But that's like 5 miles. I did that. That was a little tough, man. It's not tough, but I was like, I hit that third or fourth mile. I was like, whoa, I think I feel that in my hips a little bit. I was like, damn, I was 20. I'd go walk 10 miles, no problem. I used to go tromp through the woods, guys. Low warning. Battery's full though, so we're good. So, but I've run a lot too, though, being that I'm a veteran and was in law enforcement and did a lot of extra, it already is. Okay. We don't live on a planet, but, God didn't create any planets. It's what we do. We reprove each other with the word of God. There's nowhere in the word of God does it ever say God created one single planet. He created the stars, sun, and the moon. So, the heavens and the earth are the ruling class and the ruled. So, we are 6 to 9, potentially 6 to 9,000 years we're already cooling. The earth is already cooling in a 90,000 year cycle, about 6,000 years into that cycle already. So absolutely. There is more northern sea ice extent has been increasing by, it's beyond, I can't remember how much what they say, the gigatons or whatever that is, the increase of ice in the northern hemisphere. Now there's been a decrease in the southern hemisphere, but everything that it's lost in the summer, it's more more than doubled in the northern hemisphere. So we were in an ice age. We had what is called the Dalton and the Maunder minimums during the 17 and the 800s. That wasn't that long ago. So those were mini ice ages, but they were true, not grand solar minimums where we truly go and dip into, remember guys, all it takes for an ice age is for the ice, to not completely melt, and then more ice to form over that ice that didn't melt, so to speak. And I'm not talking about in years, but is more of a whole, that's what causes glaciation, is ice over ice, that is the formation of this glaciation periods that we go through. They're cycles. Are we going into a solar minima? Yes, we already are. Are we going into a grand solar minima? Probably so, because the AMOC, okay, the AMOC, which is the circulation of our oceans, which controls the weather on the planet. You want to know what's going on with the planet, right? You're calling it a planet, right? We'll use your terms. So I'm trying to teach, or sometimes you got to use their terms, brothers and sisters. So I already did my lesson. People don't study the circulation. That is what causes us to go into these half cycle, what are they calling 6,000 years ago now? We've been calling it the Noah, and that's what I've always called it, because that was the time of the flood. They're calling it the Bendover Davison covered it this morning. Bendover Harley Davidson. The Slavsky minimum is what they're calling it. That was 6,000 years ago, and these are part of these Heinrich cycles. And a lot of these are aligned in with the overturning of the circulation in the Atlantic of the currents, the AMOC, the Atlantic, it's the oscillation back and forth from, the water sinking down and slumping in the northern portion of our hemisphere, not all the way up into the Arctic, but down towards more, like Maine and up towards those areas up there. Because the water normally, like I said, slumps down into the hot water from the Gulf, all the circulation, and it goes down back down into the ocean and circulates itself back around. Well, what causes us to go into a solar minima faster than anything is when that happens. Because what that does is that takes, and I don't care about heat from above, that water from below, when that water in our oceans right now, the Atlantic Ocean is at a record high heat in the Atlantic. And this is where the AMOC, the Atlantic, this is where a lot of this happens, guys. I mean, this is a big portion on where this, so what happens is instead of that warm water slumping down into the Atlantic, it continues into the Arctic and it melts, not just that little cap on top. Remember, the iceberg is what's underneath. It messes with that, makes that, gets that and melts the bottom off. That changes the salinity. That's the specific gravity or the salt content, which changes the buoyancy and starts changing the circulations, throws everything. This is already happening. This is why whales are beaching, because there's currents that are off, the magnetics are off. There's already a lot of things that are already in play to show that we're already tipping into this minima, So why the glaciers made of fresh water? Exactly. Thank you. Excellent question, Zay. Zay there, or Zazzy. Yep, there you go. You guys are figuring it out. These are minimas and maximas, guys. But this is what sends us into a solar minimum faster than anything that the heat could, the earth could melt off. And, that's not, no, because that's how the cycles work. Normally, when we go into a grand solar minimum, when the sun's energy steps down, and it's definitely not doing that right now, is it? The sun actually has come to life. I watched the sun and it was in a minima for quite some time. I forget how many days in some of those years we were going hundreds of days without even one sunspot, guys. I mean, we went a long time, where we were having very low activity. Actually, the last 3 solar cycles, we're in 25 right now, 24, 23, and 22. If you put them on a graph and you put the activity at the level, it goes like this. So just in the last 33 years, the Earth has cooled. Whether anybody wants to talk about it or not, that's why as cooling shrinks, that's why the sun is not yellow anymore. Those that are old as me, remember 30 years ago, the sun was yellow, kind of orangish. It wasn't white. It got white in the middle of the summer in July in the hot white sun, but then it would fall back down and turn that orange again. And in the winter, it wasn't white ever in the winter. There's no white sun in the winter. That's not a thing. It used to be. But as our atmosphere and the energy is shrunk down, that's our magnetic protection I've been screaming to you about. We have come closer to the sun, which means we've got closer to the heat, the plasma and all that, and it's melt off that magnetic protection. And now we don't see all that particulate with the expansion in our atmosphere. And just like a welder, if you turned on a torch, it's going to be very yellow with all the particulate, the carbon, all the debris inside of the flame. But the higher you turn that heat up, it's going to go from an orange to an orange yellow, a yellow to a yellow white to a white. And then eventually, if you turn it up as high as you can, it's going to burn off all the particulates, turn blue. The sun could turn blue. Careful. Watch out. No, I'm not saying the sun's going to turn blue. Red Kachina, blue Kachina. What did the Hopi know? Interesting, huh? All right. So anyways, guys, the sun is already cycling into a solar minima. Over the last 3 solar cycles, the sun has stepped down its energy. You can see that on a graph. Nobody's hiding that, okay? But there's been a little bit of an increase in this spike of where we're at now, but the sun was very quiet for quite some time. So we've been crushing records, and you'll normally see when you dip into a minima, normally a grand solar minimum, you're going to have a hotter summer, shorter, and a longer, cooler winter. And you're going to see that until there's that, it never really doesn't go straight into an ice age, okay? And that's not how ice ages work, okay? Like evolution, that people don't like extinction. People don't study anything, brothers, sisters. They don't study anything. They just believe Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they believe that, Elon Musk, because he sent people supposedly to our low Earth orbit. Nobody went to space. That's nonsense. Just the idiocracy of, it's crazy. It's just crazy what people will believe. So, well, sure. It takes more to freeze because of the salinity, David. That's called specific gravity. Okay, or salinity. The more salt content per, whatever, liter, gallon, or whatever, it's specific. There's a measurement. It's called specific gravity, and it measures how much salinity. Salinity is how much salt content per fresh water to measure. So definitely going to take a lot longer to freeze salt, as it's more, obviously you're more buoyant in water, right? So that's the reverse of it. Isn't that pretty incredible how that works? I mean, you do float in water, obviously, but the more salt content, they have some of those, like, what are there in Death Valley, some of those places, Salt Lake, you lay in there and just like nearly float. Water's pretty buoyant in some spots where there's that extra buildup. I grew up in the ocean, so some people, I sure know a lot about the water, the ocean, I kind of grew up in the ocean. So my dad couldn't get me out of the darn ocean, I was such a bad kid. Oh man, I was such a bad kid. God, my son was so good compared to me. Sometimes I think about how good I had it, how good of a kid, how good of a young man is. He used to put himself to bed and stuff, man. He'd stay up as late as we wanted, but he did, he did a lot of times. A young man put himself to sleep when he was young. I was like, man, that was easy. He's already in bed. He would lay down himself. So me, I wouldn't lay down. I couldn't stay still. I'd flop around in my bed. I shake my head so many times, go like this, laying in my bed. I'd just pass out, flopping around. I was such a fidgety. They wanted to put me on Ritalin when I was a kid, I'd had the whole ADHD, you know, all that stuff. They'd have given me all kinds of. My parents didn't let them do that to me, but they wanted to. Hey, I think they wanted to sometimes too. So, um, God, I was such a bad kid. I was not a night. I was such a pain in the ass. I was so hard to deal with. Um, nice Puget Sound. What a beautiful place up there. Washington is a gorgeous state. Just too many stinking people over there towards the I-5 corridor. We get up to whatever. There's too many. Vancouver, Olympia, I don't know, freaking Lakewood, Fort Lewis. There's something like 3 million people or something from like Olympia to Fort Lewis or something like that, guys. That's incredible. There's how many people are smashed over there in Washington, over there up that I-5 corridor. King County, all Port Orford and all that. Whoa, boy, you guys got them all over up there. Man, there's a massive amount of people in water. I get crazy when I start thinking about all people in one spot, guys. That's no, get away from that. Go in the woods and run away, run away, run away, run away, and have peace. And I feel more at home in the woods than I do anywhere in the world, man. I really do. I got to get out of here and get me a spot up in the woods here, sell some of this land that I've got down here right off the wood line, because I'm not too far from the woods, and go find me a place up in the woods and tell you guys bye-bye, and I'll have to get some Starlink or something, right? Get hooked up with Mr. Stinky Muskrat so I can still do some live streams or something like that. Yeah, the woods are calling me, boys. The woods are calling me. I think it's time to go to the woods and take the dogs and go eat chipmunks and eat whatever it could eat out of the woods. Go try to hike in and find fresh fish and, yeah, eat things from the woods. Woods are a good place to eat. So I'll bring my cache of food, so I'll have side dishes, plenty of side dishes. So anybody want to go to the woods with me? I'm going to the woods. Either that, I'm leaving the country soon. I got to go. I got to go to the woods. I just love being in the woods. I was just looking at pictures today of my puppy dogs in the woods. Tango loves being in the woods, man. It's populated in King Pierce counties. Yeah, well, that's a say. Oh my God, like Pierce County, right? All that up there. I was running through all those people in my head. You know, there's a lot of neat things up there. You know, Washington is a very neat culture, and you know, it's a beautiful state, guys. I remember coming up to Washington, you know, and I live in Oregon now, but I used to go visit. You know, I got family that still lives up there, and where's Lake? Oh, he's not Lakewood. He's in. My uncle still lives up there. I still got some family that lives up there. Not my family. There's whatever their blood, but Puyallup. Oh yeah, I said Puyallup. Just, you know, whatever, shotgun, whatever. All my family took all my guns from me, so I had a very large collection of sidearms and weaponry, but that all disappeared years ago, so I just gave it up. I mean, I have whatever. I have some protection now. I think I don't even know what it is I have right now, shotgun or whatever, and I don't even own a pistol. It's one of the few times in my life I don't own a handgun. I don't know what my other one is. I only have two. I don't need a gun. I'm so over guns. You know, whatever. I wish somebody just shoot me so I get out of here, you know, but so I don't need a gun, but other people do. I have some for protection, obviously, home protection. Cool. That's where my uncle's at, Puyallup. He's in Puyallup. Puyallup. Yeah, no. I had my brother lived in Tacoma. The other one was in Lakewood. Yeah. I used to go up there and work up there. I love to work up in Washington, though. I'll make a lot of money in Washington. There's just so many stinking people up there. I sold food up there, so did food delivery, and man, I'd make a pretty good living up there. That's actually where I first when I got into the industry, I went up there and did with the company and did all my training up in Washington, and then came back down to Oregon. Went and knocked it out of the park up there and stuff. I was supposed to be there for a couple weeks and train. I'm like, give me my own vehicle. I'm out of here the first day. They're like, dude, nobody leaves the first day. I don't care. I'm not everybody else. I want out of here. I don't want, or I'll go back home. Either let me do this job. I already saw what you guys, I don't need no more training. I seen what's supposed to be done. Let me go. I have a CDL. I'm done. Bye. Or I'm going home. I didn't drive up here to pussyfoot around. And I did. Yeah, I enjoyed it up there. I did pretty well and kind of self-trained myself with those people up there and came back down to Oregon. But I went back up there many a times, and I can do real well up there. A lot of people live on big parcels of land, and I call them hoods in the woods. All right, they got neighborhoods inside the woods, guys. So a lot of the times in the years, because I'm old, I worked through Washington for decades up there, and I would if you go into the neighborhoods, guys, Washington used to rain all the sticking time, man. When I first moved up, like 80s, when I go up to Washington, 81, that state, all it did was rain. Seemed like gray skies. It was beautiful, freaking gorgeous because of all that rain, but it just rained all the time. That is not that state anymore. Oregon's not like that anymore. There used to be 4 seasons, heavy seasons in Oregon. Washington used to get a pretty good 4 seasons as well, and with a lot of rain, but not so much anymore. It still rains up there, but not like it did in the 80s, not like it did in the 90s. That place isn't ever so, but it still rains up there. And, what I would used to do is go to the neighborhoods that were inside of the woods, because it wouldn't be raining inside the woods. It'd be raining in the towns, outside in some of there's a lot of tree, Washington's just nothing but trees pretty much. There's cities and stuff, but it's heavily wooded area, state as a whole. So both east, west, north, south is pretty, it's very, Oregon has some diversity. We have deserts, and they have some stuff up there too. I'm not saying, but they're very heavily wooded. So a lot of the times I would, I'd run to the woods when it would rain, and I'd go work within the woods, and I'd stay dry under the cover of the woods out there. So I enjoyed working up there a lot. Like I said, it was really pretty, and I just stayed out of the cities a lot. I stayed away from Seattle. I went into the city. I didn't stay there, whatever, go cash checks and do whatever I was, go get a bite to eat, go over to, man, there's a lot of good food in Washington. Let me tell you. Heck yeah. What's that place over in Lakewood, man? That little Greek gyro place. I love going there. I think it's just called the Greek Cafe. I don't know what it was, like an old Taco Bell building. Man, they got some good gyros over there. Gyro. They have good food. There's some good food. You guys can go over if you ever get up to Washington. They're you can go over there to the wharf. Go over to to their markets that are right on the on the ocean there, because that's all Puget Sound and all that. Port Orford, all that's, man. There's some amazing seafood markets up there to go visit. And yeah, Washington's a pretty cool state. Like I said, it's a pretty cool state. Too many people there for me though, so I can't be in that state. If I had money, I could live in Washington, but I don't have money. I'm broke, so I gotta live where I gotta live. If I could live in Washington and had money, I could live away from, because there's plenty of people, like he said, Pierce and King are the high density populated areas. There's other places over, and my family used to go race in Skagit, and all the different, there's other places that are yeah, the public market is a great place to go visit, guys. They got lots of shopping, and a lot of like I said, a lot of very known restaurants that have been down there for a lot of years and have a heavy, got a lot of good reviews, and really well-known market. They have it's a visit. It's, you can spend the whole day almost there just at the public market if you wanted to. I mean, there's other things to do around the public market, but yeah, that's neat. That's what I'm saying. There's so much. You got a lot of native history in Washington, brothers, sisters. The native, a lot of heavy native tribe. Look at the names of a lot of the in Oregon too of the Edom Claw and all, Skagit and all these. These are native names. Uh, think about Kent Owen. I don't know. Huh, interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard. Yeah, I ever debate somebody, and it's fine to debate people that don't believe, but if somebody doesn't, have faith and doesn't have history or historical record, but that's cool that people do that. I don't think I've ever. Man, that's really weird because normally I would have heard. Maybe I've seen them, but just don't know them by name. And now I'm getting so better with names. I used to name as the excuse, you know. Um, but I don't think I've ever heard Kent Hovind. Interesting. Yeah, all those are, yeah. Shanomish, Issaquah, Edom Claw, Olympia, there's many, many names in Washington, guys. Oregon's too, the same thing down here. We have a lot of the same names because a lot of the same tribes were up here in the Pacific Northwest versus. So this is a very historical place. Washington and Oregon have a lot of history, more than people understand. I will definitely check that out. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like I said, I think atheists are smarter than most religious people. Even if they go to hell, so are most religious people. They're going to hell too. So remember, he throws the lukewarm Christians, and you can put any denomination on the end of that, into the lake of fire with the hypocrites and the unbelievers. So it don't matter if you don't believe, or you can know everything in that book and quote it all, and but then holier than thou, but you're not a walking testament, so that's hypocrite. He throws the hypocrites too with the people who are lukewarm, and lukewarm is the people who are drunk, on this religion, because they've fallen for sweet, that's the sugar that it takes to mix with the sin, the leaven that makes and forms that alcohol, and it can only happen in a parameter being lukewarm. If it's too hot, that's the way he said, if you're either hot or cold, or I'll vomit you from my mouth. And that's what he's telling you, because you become you're like a little leaven leavens the whole lump. You're drunk, punch drunk on the cares of this world. And so cool. No, I would listen to anybody who's, like I said, and there's nothing wrong with debating anybody like that either, but I don't know why you debate somebody who doesn't. You're not going to change anybody. You can have a discussion, and debate is okay. So I don't know what that is, but brothers, sisters, it is to, we don't sup with vipers, but we are to, love thy enemy. We do need to engage with our enemy, whether you like it or not. We just can't run away from the enemy. You can't do that, brothers, sisters. You have to shine a light on it. That's the way God tells us. Do not hide that light behind a bushel. Don't hide it. I gave it to you. Now burn bright until I return. You better have your loins girded in my service. Remember, when I leave, cat's away, the mice will play. Are you that guy? Are you that guy? I'm saying, are you that guy? Are you that lady? The boss is gone and you're over there dinking the dog or doing whatever. You're just picking your fingernails or picking your butt. If you're a dude, I don't know what you're doing, but you're over there scratching your balls or what, you're not doing anything. You wait. Oh, hurry up, boss, come back, get back to work. Are you that one? Are you girded in his service? Because a lot of people won't work unless you got to put a cattle prod up against them, brothers, sisters. Again, come across oh, cool. Hey, well, Zezzy, I'm trying to get my financial thing taken care of, so hopefully God's going to step in and I won't be wealthy, but everything will work itself out. Much blessings. Thank you. It's always love to see and hear your not hard to spot with your Z, Zazzy, your name there. So it's good to see you come in, and I appreciate your support of the ministry here and support of the channel. Your comments are super value and always appreciated. I do appreciate that. Like I said, I find, I got to keep this channel going, man. People are not only just coming here to see me, but they are coming here to fellowship with their other brothers and sisters, like I was supposed to do. So, what do we got here? You guys want to shut this one down and listen to some music, do some Bob? I had recorded a few more songs. I struggled with this phone because I'm running out of I don't have no more space on this one here, but just kind of let go here for the night. It's Friday. I know you don't smoke. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no. They'll put a little Friday on the spin there, but my P.O. Box is P.O. Box 9, not 911. There's 2 1s, right? Like 911, but not 911, but 921. It's coded 911. See that? See how that's coded? 921 is 911, isn't it? See how my brain works? If you know a lady you think you can handle me, you can have them give me a call or something, but I don't think you're going to find any woman that's going to want to hang out with 921. 921, Christmas Valley, Oregon. So what a brain this silly brain of mine is. I can't help it. So Pegamus Valley is what I call it. 97641 is the zip code here. So I do appreciate it, guys. I don't want to include the music on this stream because I want to just keep this separate, but I'll shut down for a minute and come back up in 5 or 10 minutes or something. I won't be long. You fill up, put some more ice in my thing. I'm not going to do more coffee tonight. I didn't drink all my coffee today, but I don't think I want to drink any more coffee. So, I feel a little odd. 97641. Yes. So, yeah, let's do that, guys. Let's do that. Let's shut this down, and I'll explain a little bit. Bob's a conscious artist, so he's an artist to me. He sounds like me. I've been cussing all these last few days. I don't know what's got overwhelmed me. I've been just overtaken with profanity. It will run out, an hour or something, and listen to some music if you guys are up to it. If not, I'll just shut her down for the night and I'll chill out here all by myself. Don't want to live God, I can't stand that lady. I don't like that lady at all. I wish her and Snoop Dogg would just go live on an island somewhere and just be gone. I don't know what's going on right now. I had a massive event out here. My whole wind turbine thing blown apart, like I don't know. There's something out here. Ever since that day, I've been kind of just a little, I'm fine, but I'm just a little off, man. I just feel I'll go hundreds of hours and never cuss one single time. And I've cussed more right now in the last few days than I don't know what's gotten over with me. So I don't feel negative energy. I just feel a shift, if you will. And it's got me, because of the way my brain works all the time, there's like this interference sometimes or something it's like, just can't get my mind right, because if you've ever watched me, I don't know how long you've been in here, David. I'm freaking all over the place sometimes, and I don't do that. That's the way I'm just honest. You get no idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how my brain works sometimes. I don't have control of it. It does. It has a mind of its own. It's, but I know it's who I was and how I was raised. But some people come in, they can't handle it. Like this guy's all over the place. But normally, if you listen, I do continue to talk about the things that I might have missed. He was just talking about something. Now he's talking about something. Now, hold on a minute. He'll go back and talk about that. Just wait. He's talking about this, and then to bring up a new and to go. I don't know why my brain does this. I don't know what it is that makes it fire the way it does. It's just like I said, I've often told people I wouldn't wish anybody inside of my head because I don't think they would last very long. They'd be begging to get out, like, let me out of here. This is like crazy. That's like, and I try to keep my voices quiet, not like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have voices in my head. It's just most of the time in my head, I run through scripture. I run through scripture more than anything else now. I can't concentrate a lot of the times because my mind is trying to equate scripture together. He always edifies me in my brain. Like I don't get my reward in the world, but like, oh, thank you, Father. It's like, oh yeah, it just goes in a loop. It's just a continual. I'm running through Matthew. I'm over here in Peter. I'm reading, and I don't even have to pick the book up sometimes, obviously, for it to just. It's like a book, it reads in my head like a book, and it says, well, this chapter goes with this chapter, and that is the gospel. And see, that's I don't know how many times everything he showed me is the gospel now. That's what he keeps doing in my brain more than anything now, as I have this massive loop of the gospel. It's like so edifying, know that this is all that everything is just about the gospel. Everything else can go away. I don't care about anything but the gospel. I teach that. I don't care what you know. You don't know anything. You know the gospel. You take it up your cross. I love it. So, what a blessing to be here with brothers and sisters that hopefully love this word as much as I do. I don't do it because I do it. I do it because He makes me do it. But I find pleasure in the word. It's hard to find it in the world. So it's comforting because it's not lie, like I said, my dogs, they don't lie to me. And I like that, and so that's what's so beautiful about the word. When you study it, it doesn't lie to you. It's the truth. And, you're actually getting truth. So nice that you're not, I don't know. That's what the word means to me. That's what I'm saying. And so that's how it edifies me in my own brain. When I put scripture upon scripture, and then it's and then, it's like, that is so. And then I have a normal thing going on too back there, by the way. There's all kinds of other things going on, now study, I can normally get some of those other things to stop and focus more on just the, see, it's I don't know what happened to me. I know that my mom was on birth control and I wasn't supposed to be here. Now I'm not the first child to be born on birth control. And I told you my parents did a lot of drugs growing up when I was born. They were probably definitely on some kind of crazy drugs when they made me. He created me, so I'm not worried about it. It's God's creation. It's not normal, brothers, sisters, not normal. So I apologize sometimes, and I know that ramble seems like people like I'm rambling, but in my head, I'm having a conversation with myself and you, and I'm thinking about 5 other things a lot of the times, whether I like it or not. Ripley's believe it or not. I can't, that's what I'm saying. I've told people in here before, man, I really wish sometimes I could wire, Neuralink my head so that you could hear when my body's, my mind is taken over and it's edifying itself with the word of God. It's incredible how, I don't know, it's just overwhelming at times. It's just very neat. And it's having something that hadn't happened to me and probably just started happening within the last 6 months, I would say, or something like that. I've always studied, but it is just getting so overwhelming, where it takes over my day. It tells me to put everything else down. None of this dirt crap matters. Just concentrate, focus, and you can still work if you need to, but you don't need to. Just study. If you need to, get near where you have a book so you can go back and define. If there's something that's you're running through your head and you don't know where it's at, you can go right back to and refer to it. So pretty amazing to think that I have not been locked up in a mental asylum, and that I haven't been condemned from society, and that they haven't eternally bewildered and criminally insane. I don't know what they would say about me, but I don't care. I am going after Social Security after all, finding these years, though, to try to get Social Security, guys. And I don't want a check. I want what I paid in. And I'm telling them that I'm crazy. Seriously. And all you have to do is go ask anybody in this town. Anybody who knows me. Call any one of my family members. They'll tell you I'm nuts. That dude's crazier than hell. Batshit crazy. All he ever does is talk about Jesus. I've been told now that when the last time I had to be around my family, they told me I couldn't talk about. They didn't want to hear it. I talk about it too much, like whatever. Not everything's about Jesus, Tracy. Really? Where's it say in his book? He said daily cross. I have to do it every day. Who shall ever come after me, let them deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow after me. If you deny me in front of your family, your friends, you go in public, I'll deny you in front of my Father. So I'm not going to turn that off, right? Well, thanks for being here with me, guys. I really love coming in here and being able to have the platform here and share my time with you guys. It's valuable to me. I could be doing anything, and so I'm glad that I get to be here with you. And I've stole a lot of people's time in the past, guys. I'm a time robber. I am. I told you, people will run away from me. If they brought Social Security out here and they did an investigation, I'll go ask the police if I'm crazy. Go ask the farmers if I'm crazy. So I'll go ask anybody in town that knows me, and they'll tell you I'm crazy. So I think it's time to go get, I think it's time to get my Social Security. I tried. My back was broken in the military. I broke my 3 rear-end car. I stacked game evidence. Sometimes I get like a shrimp, guys. I can't even walk. I drag myself around like a snail, and I did it. You guys seen me do it when I busted my hip out here this last winter. I just worked through it. Messed up back and a hip, and I still just drug around. Whenever I think about people who don't have legs and stuff, how are you going to sit there and, make an excuse? I actually work harder when I messed up sometimes, because I force myself, than when I'm real, in shape. Well, I mean, I'm not in shape. I'm always in shape. It doesn't matter. But when I'm not messed up, I don't feel time to work as hard. I think sometimes I don't, or it's just harder. And man, sometimes I get so bad, it'll take me 15 minutes to put a shoe on. Just to get a shoe, one shoe on, 15 minutes. That's a struggle, man. You ever had to take 15 minutes to get one shoe? Almost a half an hour to get a pair of shoes on your feet. You know what I'm saying? So it can be difficult, but no matter what, when I get like that, I still have animals that need fed. I still, at the time, I still have a homestead. I still have everything. And I don't have the life that you guys live. I have to get up, chop firewood. With a messed up back, man. I'm not even supposed to be. I can't even get that axe over, but somehow So get there, Anomaly. Do it. Heck yeah, man. Get it, man. I hope you find a good community. You know what I'm saying? I find you a good community. And 3 or 4 people is fine. Just 2 is even better than 1. So if you find another person to do it, you've got 1 more on me. So, but if people do this with 3 and 5 and 10 people, not in large numbers, brothers and sisters, but there are pockets of these breakaway communities of people who are like, I don't want to eat anything from that store anymore if I can help it. I'll never want to go to a fast food restaurant. I don't want to put that poison in my body where I'm just going to grow it all myself. And I'll be totally self-sufficient of the system. I'll keep 1 foot in the system, but I'll have 1 foot out of the system. And that way, if the system breaks, I'll just go back into the same system that I'm in. Bam, something happens here, I can go back into the system. That's how I try to tell people, brothers and sisters. You don't need to go all the way off the grid or all the way in full bore. Keep 1 foot in the system. You know, you don't quit your job. If you found another job, you need to probably put in a 2-week notice, that, don't just hop from, seriously, if you, man, I found a new job and, well, why are you leaving us? I don't know. They pay twice as much as you. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for working for us. We can't pay you that much. They're going to let you go. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be a bad thing. So, yeah. I was just ranting about that, an abstract anomaly, for frickin' an hour and a half, just rambling about all the problems that truly are with our system and how much I don't like it and don't want to be a part of any of it anymore. Not at all. Not at all. I really wish God would stop punishing me so much and send me the people that I need, or just let me be alone, and I'll just go in the woods and be by myself, and I'll be fine. I can live all by myself. If I know nobody's coming, for 10 years, I thought people were coming, for 10 years, Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come, the whole thing. Well, nobody ever came. So now I have to switch gears, like a chameleon. If the times change, it's, I got to be able to bend like a tree, like a willow. So that's what I'm doing. I want to be the oak. I was the oak tree for a lot of years, so strong and rigid, and I broke before, but see, now that crack is healed up and it's stronger. No. That's not the times we're headed. We're turbulent times ahead, and if you can't bend, and I know that from being a military veteran, it's called adapt and overcome. We do that in the military. Always, if there's a will, there is a way. And if you have the will to do it, you can do anything you put your mind to. And that's how a veteran was always going to not even think. He just acts. No, not a lot of thought, and so that allows. So sometimes that helps me, push forward through my times, being that I am a veteran and I'm a bit militant with myself, whether I like it or not. But that's what, it's like I said, I've really screwed myself here this last week by not working very much, and so that's going to make me have to work 3 times hard as next week. But I'm my own boss, so I have to make myself do it because nobody else will. The Father does. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like I said, just probably breathe, stand up. I need to get up and stretch my legs. I want to go look at the stars. I need to stargaze a little bit. I don't know why. I need to get the there's something about these summer stars, guys, out here. I don't know. And then their stars are beautiful in the wintertime, but I don't know. I'm hooked on the stars. It's just a time like I feel like somebody's here with me, guys, to be honest with you. I don't think I've even shared this with you guys at all, because I don't share, the whole everything about me on here. But oh yeah, Fort Drum. That's cold there. Fort Drum, New York. Oh man. Oh, that's a tough place to do it. I was stationed in Alaska, and that's pretty tough up there too. I did all my extreme cold weather mountaineering, Arctic training. I stayed up there. Was it negative? It gets that cold in Fort Drum too, guys. It gets real cold. Obviously Alaska higher elevation, but I think when I was up there at Greeley, I did all my mountaineering and extreme cold weather training at Fort Greeley. There's three posts up there, military posts, or Wainwright, Greeley, and Richardson. I went to all 3 of them, but I don't think it got above negative 40. And like half weeks out there on the Bolio Range. Really a neat experience. Hardcore, man. You talk about not sustaining a cold weather injury. Imagine staying outside for I think it was 2.5 weeks was the first course. I never got above negative 40, and you don't go inside. That's cold enough to throw a cup of coffee, in the air, that type of, careful, your pee will freeze. Whoa, different kind of a climate, guys. Different kind of different kind of climate that we live in here. Most of us in the States, but Fort Drum is very cold as well. And I'm from Florida. Oh yeah. I imagine I was like, oh my God, what the hell did I just get myself into? Yeah. No, I know people who've been to Drum and they didn't like it, man. I know people who Drum. I know actually people who like these. Some people like the cold. That's if people. I like the cold. That's a good post to go to. It's because some people like the cold. But man, people who don't like the cold, I tell me, God, I hated that place. I frickin' hated that place. People from Virginia, people from like down Texas. You meet people from all over all over the world. People do join, believe it or not, the military. They get here and they come here and they'll be from another country and they want to serve this country. So they will get citizenship and they will join our military services. So you will meet people not just from the U.S. in the United States Army. So I told you, we got 1,003 plus, 1,000 military bases in over 180 countries, guys. We are the war machine. So war is profitable. You sell bullets and Band-Aids, you'll make money on both sides of the war. Remember, we put, Adolf was, Hitler, Time Magazine's Man of the Year 2 years in a row. They loved him. We put him in office. So we funded him. We did. Know your history. Stop playing games. Back then they were just going after one group of people, brothers, sisters. Now they're going after everybody. I hope you take this word a little bit more serious. I hope this little rant here on my stream here was worth your time. Let me go. I'll be back up here and go water a bush, go stare at the stars. And I don't know, like I said, sometimes when I'm out here and I'm staring at the stars, I think, man, I really wish somebody could be here with me. And a lot. And sometimes I feel like somebody's here with me. And I know it's him, because I really want to share. It'd be so neat to share my experiences out here with somebody else, wrap up in a cold blanket, hop up on top of the cabin, check out the stars for, a couple hours. I just sit there and gaze off at the stars, and just, I've always done that. So I think that's what I need. I need to go out and look at the stars because we got the smoke cleared out here and we got a nice clear end. I need to go see me some twinkling stars. The stars in the state don't move. And I've been to all 50 states. I've lived in Alaska. I lived down in the middle of the ocean in Hawaii, been to Dead Horse, lived on, I've been to every major city in the U.S., every state. I never seen the stars do what they do like in this state. I was talking about it earlier. So let me go stick my head, like my dad always said, you're not even from this place, man. Your brother's in your cloud. Your head is way up there in another world, Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Come back to Earth. Nano, Shazbot. Okay. That's what he said to me. He'd tell me all the time, Tracy, hello, is anybody in there, Tracy? He'd do that to me a lot because I just wasn't listening. I heard him, but I wouldn't come out of it. I wouldn't. I'd sit there and when he'd tell me, get out, he'd say, all right, Tracy, look, every stinking time I take you to the ocean, you play the same thing with me. I see you out there. I know you go further out than all your brothers, and when I call you, come in, or I'm not taking you next time. And I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, Dad. Sure, you always say that, but you always take me to the beach. So I'm out there. Tracy, I'm 3 and 4 years old, guys, 2 and 3 years old, and my parents, I had some things I didn't even know that I did. I told you I was such a defiant little shit stick, man. I was so bad. I used to hide inside of the closet in the clothing racks until my mom was freaking the hell out. And my dad said they used to do that, a lot, and you get your butt stomped, but you thought it was funny, and you'd freak your mom out all the time. You did it once when we went to Disneyland. She thought we were gone you sat there and they watched come by. I was so bad. I was such a bad kid. It was bad. So sometimes I wonder why my life is such hell, guys. All the problems that I really truly have in my life. I know a lot of it is because I serve, the Father, and the devil's all, I'm going to have a monkey on my back, but it's probably because I wasn't very good. And kid, my brothers, they got good grades. They didn't get no trouble. They didn't break no bones. I had stitches, broken bones. I was getting trouble. I freaking didn't get grades. Man, I was a bad kid. But I didn't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? I never did, like, I defend myself and I got in a lot of fights and all that, but I wasn't a bad kid like that. I just didn't listen, guys. That's all I'm saying. I just wouldn't participate. That's why my name is Spacey Tracy. Why I have space tattoos and I don't even believe in space. That's what's so funny now, right? Crazy, yes. Spacey, I don't know. You tell me. Normally, like a cycle space, I'll come back around to what I was talking about. So, you love Robin Williams. That's what my dad did say. Nanu, nanu. Tracy, come back to Earth. Hello, Nanu, nanu. Shazbot. Hello, Mark. Are you in there? Hello, Mark. It's right. You got it there. Dave's got it. Sorry. All right, guys. I love you. I'll see you back here in a little bit. I'm gonna go stargaze or something, man. I wish you guys were out here right now. A couple of you guys were out here. We'd freaking say, the heck with this stupid fire ban. We're gonna make us a bonfire and sit out under the fire and be human beings. Not let anybody tell us we can't light a fire. We'd sit out here and there's a burn ban right now. I'd light a fire anyways. Wouldn't burn anything. I have areas I'm not going to tell me nobody what I can do out here, and I'd have a fire under the stars with you if you were here with me. But I'm going to go do it by myself, guys. Love you. I'm not going to light no fires, though, okay? I'm just going to go sit out and stargaze for a little bit. I'll be back in a little bit. Phone is plugged in, but 85%. So I only burned 15%. So since the beep, since my little warning. Thank you so much to Noah today, guys. Gave me a $75 cash out. My wind turbine crashed and burned. We don't know how, but it did. So thank you so much, Noah, for $75. I told you I had another $23 or something. I have almost $100 towards my wind turbine. The last one lasted 5 years before whatever took it off of that stand, which is unexplainable. Impossibility. So thank you, Noah, for the super chat earlier. I wanted to, thought I was just blown away. Excuse me, that wasn't a super chat. It was, he gave me a super chat the day before. He gave me $50 super chat. So much love, guys. Read something in there. Yeah, wasn't that amazing? That's a big chunk of change, man. I don't know how people are such blessings. Like I said, I don't get a lot, but I do get that when it needs. That's the way the Lord works in my life. So what a cool guy, Noah. I think he said he wanted to maybe come out here. I don't know. I haven't really know him much yet, but I like his name. People call me Noah. They have. I built an ark out here and I dug for years and didn't listen to the world. So I've been called Noah myself. So what a cool name that is, huh? All right. Thank you for the support, guys. Your comments are just as even more valuable than money, guys. Truly is. The monetary help does help. Thank you, Father, for letting these people tithe this ministry. So you can tithe the ministry at any time. I always have a PayPal and a Cash App. I will be turning off the super chats though at the end of this month. So I love you. Thank you so much, guys, for talking to me about the truth of what's going on. I can't believe what's really going on. But hey, it's really going on. That's the world we live in. And the next time somebody pisses you off, just smile at them. I blow their mind. Oh my God, you wrecked my car. Oh, sorry. Or somebody wrecks into your car. It's all right, man. We'll figure it out. We got insurance. It's not the end of the world. Go out there and be kind and charitable, brothers, sisters. But go out there and take up your cross. All right. That's the truth. That's what I do. I am Apocalypse. I am Revelation. Whoa.